Good morning, Rabbi. It's great to be back. There's going to be a little learning at the end of all the mices. There's a lot of guests. One guest just hit me, mamish, like a ton of bricks. Before I get to the guests, I want to say that I'm extremely impressed. Yaakov, what time did you get home last night? Yaakov, Sitra, myself, and Reb Baruch, who's also over there in the corner, got home after 3. That means he went to sleep at about 3:30. It's 7 o'clock in the morning and he's here after Shachris probably. Now, Gary Ben Moshe is on the cameras. What time did you get back? 2-ish. You got back at 2. Benny, 2. No excuses with the daf. There's not a single guy here that's missing. Who? Oh, Dave. Dave's here. Shalom Aleichem, Dave. So every single guy that was on this trip and came back 2-3 in the morning is here 3-4 hours later.
Coffee does the trick.
So unbelievable, tremendous. That's to me that's huge. Rabbi said we have with us a lot of guests, but one of the big stories that I remember with Aldra is come. You got to come here, and I want to introduce you. Come, Reb Lenny, Kum Tzaher. It's a Maisa, also another inspiring story. Shalom Aleichem. How are you?
Right,
your name is Lenny Hamel, right?
Right.
What age were you when you started doing the daf?
80.
80 years old when he started doing the daf. How long ago?
When did you start Shabbos?
It's like 4 years ago.
Yeah. No, it's more.
4 years ago. 4 years ago, at the age of 80, started the daf. It's unbelievable. Mwah. That's what a chizuk. What a chizuk. What a chizuk.
Okay.
If you could start at 80, anybody could start at any age, correct?
Absolutely.
You have some divrei bracha for Dovid, some divrei chachma. Say something.
You should all grow from strength to strength.
That's a bracha. Or the eitzah. Tell them eitzah about the daf.
Never give up. Never give up. Just
Never give up. Wow, unbelievable. Rabbi Lenny, thank you for coming. I know I was matriach you. I apologize, but it was for the oilam. Shkoyach. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? Hillel Kornbleeth. From? Monty, New York. Yishkoyach for coming. Who else do we have here? Guests. I saw a bunch of guests. What's your name? Avi Gordon from? Melbourne. Australia. You still live there or you used to be? And you came here, you do the daf in Melbourne with us? That's choshev. Wow, very choshev. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Also from Melbourne. You also do the daf? Or you just the father of the guy that does the daf?
No, both.
Both? Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? We couldn't find you a seat together with your son. Nothing. You're not related?
We live in the same city though, with the same last name.
But one time, he said that he's both. He said he's your father.
My son is in Melbourne doing the daf now, watching you as we speak.
His son is in Are you serious? Both of you come over here. Both two Gordons from Melbourne come. Both. This is crazy. I said we're going to get to the learning all the way at 5 to 8. I didn't even begin. Whoever misses the emails today is never. Come. This is crazy. This is not normal. We had two right before I left Eretz Yisrael, a guy tells me his name is Elia Turjuman. I'm like, are you kidding me? Look who's sitting next to you. Elia Turjuman. The two to Elia, not related. Come. So Shalom Aleichem. Your name is, what's your name?
Michael Gordon. Zundel. Reb Zundel, they call me.
Reb Zundel Gordon from Melbourne. And you don't even know this guy.
I know his dad. I'm good friends with his
But
dad.
him himself, you don't even know. And your name, Shalom Aleichem, is, come here, come closer.
Avi Gordon.
Avi Gordon, not related, both from Melbourne, just came today to the shir, and you didn't even know that you're coming?
I knew I was coming. I didn't know he was here.
Well, I didn't know he was coming.
This is unbelievable. This is crazy. This is not,
I gotta
this is
tell you
HaGra
why I'm
brothers.
here. I'm here because my just had a grandson a couple of days ago.
Mazel tov.
Well, and I did the bris myself.
Wow. Stay away. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, hold on a second. This is the two Gordons. A kiss from Hashem. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, Givaldi, thank you so much.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah,
Say
and we have plenty of time.
That's right. Say hello to my son Nushi in Melbourne, who got me into
Ushi?
Nushi.
Nushi ben Reb Zundel. Yishkoyach for doing the daf with us. Mwah. Okay, well, this is unbelievable. Okay, we're having a lot of fun. So, Rabbi, let me tell you a little bit about the trip. This was a trip of Akar Satoiv to the Toimchim of the Daf. Mostly people that were Toimach with their pocketbooks, their wallets. A lot of people, there were people there that were Toimach with hours that they gave towards the Daf. And there was people that were in between. There's somebody like Benny Rudnick who gave a lot of money to the Daf, but who also spend hundreds of hours on the Daf and building up the Hebrew Shir, and he doesn't get paid, obviously. A tremendous Akar Satoiv to Yossi Klein. Akash Baruch Hu sent a shliach. I think anybody could do it if they want to. Anybody could still do it if they want to. He came up with this idea. He executed the idea from A to Z flawlessly. There's not a single thing that I recall that went wrong. There was even hot water with coffee on the buses. There was every detail. Every person got a knapsack, a beautiful knapsack, with embroidered in the knapsack MDY logo, with dozens of items like chargers, and everything had the MDY logo on it, and even a pair of MDY socks, a ton of stuff. Everything, the food was out of this world. This is a caterer from Poland that's better than most caterers that I ever tasted in my life. One of the best meals that we had, I forgot what they're called, Zapalnik, something crazy. What? It was in the Hebrew. Zayin, Pei, Kuv, Vav, Lamed. I don't know what. Anyways, they shipped this stuff in from Poland and they set it up beautifully. It was unbelievable. The Ruchni's part, we were very, everybody's super inspired. Also we got to know each other. We're on the bus. I'll tell you what Rabbi Ephraim Shapiro said. First of all, people were blown away by his ability to move the Olam and to speak. A great speaker from North Miami Beach. He's famous, he has shiurim all over Rabbi Ephraim Shapiro, but he was able to, the Olam was crying, and he said that he's done over 50 trips like this, and he said, I'm telling you, without hurting anybody's feelings, he said he's never seen a bunch of people that get along so well and were so upbeat, because at one point, and we knew this, we went to a place that's extremely difficult to go to. That's the Chofetz Chaim's Kever. To cross the border into Belarus, it's not like it used to be. Belarus is part of Russia. It's like they're extremely friendly with Russia, so now with the war and everything, to get in, I'll just tell you, I don't know if the people on the bus understood. Baruch explained to me, to get into Belarus, each and every one of us was interviewed by the KGB. It's still the KGB, and we were interviewed, and we all felt violated. Why? They took our phones from us, and in seconds, we don't know how, they were able to pull up anything that they wanted, and they showed us. What's this picture of a soldier? What's this? And in seconds, we don't know how they did it, magicians. Anything suspicious on your phone, WhatsApp conversations, they had some sort of program, and then they erased things afterwards, so we couldn't figure out how they did it. But I'm talking about seconds. They were like, so they did a search, soldier, okay, fine, but how did they know that I had a conversation about a soldier? Anyway, and people were like a little bit shooken up by that, and you should know that it was not just on the border police, they were KGB. So, that being said, we were able to get in there. It took, and Yad Yisrael helped us out a lot, and we flew in Baruch Shafnas. We paid for him to come because I have no idea, Yossi, but because he speaks perfect Russian, and he actually helped us a ton. They were telling us stuff, and we had no idea, and he was able to calm them down. At one point, the Olam, on the way out, took a lot longer than the way in. It's usually the reverse, because Yad Yisrael did it. You only could go in a certain bus that gets a permit to leave the country. So we got on that bus, and basically we had to stay at the border, 6-8 hours. Very, very long time. So he's sitting there, and people get antsy. And he said he's never seen a chabura, like, okay, well, so I gave a few shiurim for the video and this and that, but at one point, the Olam was having such a good time that this young soldier shows up, and she says very, very calmly, you are misbehaving, I am punishing you. You all get in your bus and you don't come out. And she punished us because the bus was off. You can't waste any sin. And we had to sit in the bus for a few hours. We got punished. And you don't say a word, because if you say a word, there's the KGB. She takes you and she ships you back to the other side. Anyway, so that was that thing. But he said that he never saw it. But we went to the Chofetz Chaim's Kever, I think, for a lot of people. That was the highlight. The Vilner Gaon's Kever. We went to Rameh Shapir's Yeshiva. I never knew that it's a 6-story building that was magnificent. Probably the nicest yeshiva building I've ever seen from the outside. Just looking at it with the big giant pillars. Give a shir in the Beis Medresh. Gary, when he's diving for the Amud, was crying because you're in the Beis Medresh of Rameh Shapiro of Lublin, and he was nifted at a very young age. What do you got for me? You have to get one of those. Ask Yaakov Citron afterwards. The taxi app, it's called, and you put big letters on the screen, so you just go like that, like a VIP service when you come out of the. Okay, so Vilner Gaon for me was, because I'm named after the Vilner Gaon, so it was a tremendous highlight for me. And I think if you ask the Olam, and I think we should do this more often, and people could do this right now as we speak. We went around the table. There was, let's say, 25 people. Went around the table. Everybody got to say what MDY is for them and how they joined, etc. That took over 2 hours, especially when a few people got up and spoke for 15 minutes. And I was crying for 2 hours straight, literally 2 hours straight. It's amazing to see that we all do the same daf, but everybody had a different spin and a different take and a different vantage point. Eli Ashir, for instance, he made everybody cry, I think. And he himself was crying, but he said something when he said it, and I hope I'm not gonna do it justice, and I don't remember all the details, but it's something to the point that his father never learned Torah. His father never learned, and he started doing the daf, and he got very involved in business trips, and he goes around the world. He's a very big party planner for even non-Jewish people around the world, and celebrities, etc. So the daf really works for him. And when he made a siyum, he invited his father. So he makes another siyum, invites his father. So his father tells him, right before the siyum for Bar Mitzvah, his father says, "So you're coming to the siyum?" So he says, "Yeah, you're going to make the siyum, you're going to come to the siyum." He says, "No, you're going to come to the siyum." His father, at 76 years old, made a siyum on Bava Basra. He took it on himself. From seeing that his son is learning, he joined the shir at 76. You hear, Lenny? 76, not 80, but he made his very, very first siyum ever. I think it was on Bava Basra, no? Am I messing it up a little bit?
Then Baba Kama, I decided, I want to be part of the Kever, and I flew to Eretz Israel. I flew in for the siyum, and I flew out the next day because I wanted to feel connected. But I came home. I said, I'm not making my siyum with you guys. I wanted to be a part of it, but I made my siyum again with my father. Comes the next siyum, he calls me and says, "Do you mind if the next time you do a siyum, if I can make one too?" And I want to explain to him, I don't know if it works that way. He said, "No, because I've been coming to your siyum, and I started learning with a Rav after davening in the morning. And he's about to make a siyum on Tainus, and that's why I took on Tainus to learn with him, because I actually could do something with my father now. And he's 76 years old, and he's going to make his first siyum of his life."
The way he said it, and the way this, and Bekitzer, it was unbelievable. So halavai that we should all be zayich to go on these trips together. All of us should all be toimchei Torah. And those who, I feel bad, we invited a few other people that weren't able to make it. I mamish feel bad that they couldn't make it. Each one in their own. Another one, I'll just tell you real quickly. Eli Deichman, for instance, he didn't cry like a baby, but he choked up when he said that because of his family sees him learning Torah, his son, at the age of 10, started doing the daf and made a siyum on Seder Noshim Gemara at his bar mitzvah. And when he said it, he choked up. All right. So, yeah. I don't think we could do it more than once a year. It's a very hard trip. You don't get to sleep a lot. Most of us slept about an hour and a half a night. and I have to give it a tremendous to Gershon, to Gary Ben Moshe, to Dave, and to Mark Ashkenazi for the first morning. They said, "Oh, you have to give a shir at 6 o'clock in the morning for the Hebrew, so that the Hebrew has it and they have nothing." We just got there and we just slept an hour and a half. So these guys, me, Mela, I'm Magachir, and I don't have a choice. But that these guys crawled out of bed before I even got there to set up. It takes a half hour to set up all the equipment and the cameras and this. So tremendous yishkoach, what goes on by. And a lot of people were able to be makir. Now the people on the trip saw the dedication of the team, of how they set up in seconds and everybody's in and it was mamish clicked. So, Bezer Hashem. I think we can learn a little Torah now. First I have to say the sponsors. The Zechariah sponsor for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Paras HaChodesh renewed. Zechariah ben Moshe, Zechariah bas Yosef, Yishkoch to the editors, Yishkoch to Yosef Bilyak, who's here, who I know that when we go on trips, it's very difficult because the stuff comes in at all times of the night. There's a shir. Eli Stefansky is online, really? Unbelievable. He had a harder trip than us. He was an 8-hour trip. We went with him, we flew to Paris, and from Paris to Eretz Yisrael, he flew from Paris to New York, which is a much longer trip. So Yishkoch Eli Stefansky. I have no idea what I wanted to say. Oh yeah. So after the 2 hours of speeches, after 2 hours is already, I think it was 3:42. I showed my clock. 3:42 in the morning. We sat down giving shir, something like that. No, but it was. That's what it was. I thought it was 2, but somebody sent me the picture. 3:42 a.m. No, we started. 3:42. We started a shir in the morning, and the oilam stayed. Again, I'm a Magachir, no. But that the oilam stuck around at 3:42 a.m.
It was food. Yeah.
It was after the food. Oh, one of our dinner started at what time? 3 in the morning. We sat down to eat dinner. And we don't want to eat. But they put out this unbelievable spread. And from not wanting to eat, we were like, where is it? Keep on giving. Let's go. All right. Oh, yeah. So Yishkach Yosef, the Paras HaChodesh Binyomin Rosenfeld, with gratitude of Biderman, Rabbi Eli, Gedale, Fenster, and Michael Safdie. Paras HaChodesh Eli Stefansky and Dr. Moshe Tzvi Dauber for refuah, shleima, and safe speedy return of Chayalim. I don't want to forget this. Happy birthday, Yaakov Selmer. Matching Rabbi Eli's donation, l'schos Chayalim for the month. And Mazel Tov to Shamshi. Where's Shamshi? He's sleeping. Where is he?
He was here for Shabbos.
I was here for Shabbos. I had to go. Yeah, he's making a bar mitzvah. I said Shamshi. Shamshi is the father. Chanan Averbuch. Where's his father-in-law? Well, did you just walk in or something? How you doing? Mazel tov. You also do the daf. Did you do before him? No. You did start before him? But he claims that Shapsi Cohen got him involved. Okay, this is a machlokes here. You're going to have to fight it up because it's a lot of schusim up there.
The English and the Hebrew.
Chanan Averbuch, an honor of Rabbi Dovid, Schoen of Miami, and a successful launch of... Why is this in here? Okay. Paras Hayoim, Zalmy Shteierman, Eli Stefansky Yehуда ben Rabbi Yisrael, Yartzeit, and in honor of Rabbi Shteierman, Baruch Shafnes and Yad Yisrael. I missed that yesterday. Paras Hayoim, Lili Nishmas, the Chafetz Chaim, Rabbi Yisrael Meir ben Rav Aryeh Zev ha-Kohen Kagan. Amir Farivar. I think the place that I broke down like a little baby, unexpected, was in the yeshiva of Radin. My grandfather learned there, and it just hit me. Like my grandfather used to learn this in this base Medresh right here, and I don't know, everybody in their own, yeah. Amir Farivar, in honor of Rabbi Shlomo Lazari, an amazing person, friend, and does not let anyone pay for dinner, which is true. In fact, I had a great trick. He doesn't know. I said, Shlomo, I need a place to stay. I need a Airbnb to stay in, and let's get a caterer, and of course I'll pay for it. So it was just my little trick of having somebody get me an Airbnb and pay for all the food and have a free Shabbos. Parnas Hayoim, Moti Kirshner, Lilinish Mas Mein Zayde, Rav HaChosid, Reb Dovid Isaac, Ben Reb Chaim Doiv, Olav HaShalom, of Zen Yartzeit, Yid Elul. Who told Mati I noticed you read Yiddish? Okay, good, Baruch Hashem. For Schus, for Reb Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue, this is the first time somebody wrote something in Yiddish. First time. Schus revealing the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Rabbi say, we have to learn a little bit. I don't think we ever started this year 20 to 8. These are some of the pictures. I don't remember where everything is. The one on the bottom right is Chaim Volozhin's Kever, the first Rosh Hashiva of modern history. The one in the middle where I'm standing like that is the Chofetz Chaim's Kever. That's the Chofetz Chaim's Kever. Let me just show a laser so the Olam doesn't get confused. This right over here is the Chofetz Chaim's Kever. What's this? I don't remember. This is the Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva? This is Radin, the Yeshiva Radin. It was actually a small building, believe it or not, compared to like Ramey Lublin, Ramey Shapir's building. It's just a Beis Medresh, no dormitory, no dining room, because they didn't feed the kids and they didn't let them sleep there. The Bachrim used to sleep in stores, like on the floor to watch the store, so the Ganav would come at night and you had to go get tag. You have to knock on doors and ask for food. This is the Vilner guy, no. This is a guy learning, trying to prepare for Shir. Rabbi said, if you want to give a good Shir for the Olam, do not try to prepare on a bus with 25 rowdy guys and 2 guitarists playing songs. It doesn't really work after an hour and a half of sleep. This is in the Beis Medresh of Vilna. Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Live from the great synagogue in Vilna. It's not the Vilna going shul, because that I don't believe exists anymore. But it's a beautiful. We did a little shir here, and what's this? Rabbi Isai. I'm standing here in front of the Heilige Vilna Gaon's Kever. I have a tremendous connection to the Vilna Gaon. In fact, my name is Elio. I'm named after the Vilna Gaon. My father, Zolzang Gesund, he kept all the practices and the minhagim of the Vilna Gaon. He's what we call a gronik. I too try to keep most of his minhagim. And I grew up with a tremendous understanding and a pachad and admiration and just chashivas for the Vilna Gaon, understanding that the Gedale Ador of his generation, such as the Noida Yehuda, considered him above and beyond, and they just completely were machnia themselves to the Vilna Gaon. The Chofetz Chaim in his Mishmura brings the Vilna Gaon almost on every page, and he paskins like the Vilna Gaon most of the time. The Chazon Ish talks about the Vilna Gaon. The Chazon Ish himself was basically a gronik, went with Minhagei HaGra and quotes the Vilna Gaon all the time. So we're talking about one of the greatest Jewish figures in Torah that lived in the last 300 plus years, and it's an unbelievable schus to be standing here. And I want to thank the whole MDY Mishpacha who came and made this trip possible, especially our dear friend Yossi Klein. So, L'zeich Nishmasai, he never wasted a second of his life. He learned literally 20 plus hours a day, if it's possible. He only slept 2 hours total, half hour at a time, and it was all Torah. He did not take any type of job. He was never the Rav of a city. He was never a Shiva, because he just wanted to learn. We're going to start the Mishnah Daf Pei. If somebody purchases, because we have plenty of time, I just want to say Shalom Aleichem. I don't want to forget anybody. I see that I missed at least one guest. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Shimshi. What's your last name? From? Oh, that's your father. Shalom Aleichem. What's your last name again?
In Yiddish it's Carmen Lee, in English it's Corn Blue.
Oh, Carmen Lee and Corn Blue. I got it.
I came for the wedding, so it's how they for
So Beis Hashem, I'll be there after Shir Tov. He wanted me to. And Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. How you doing? So, if we could focus the camera on those two guests that said Shalom Aleichem. Here, shake his hand. Shake Carmeli's hand. Oh. So what you see is a guy with a Bieber hit shaking a guy with a knitted yarmulke from where? Where did you say you're from? Near Monsey. That's what? Who? Your son?
Maybe not, it's going to work.
You got to convince the son to join this year. Okay, this is MDY in a nutshell. And boys, here we go. And also, we could do a whole daf in 15 minutes because Shachris is coming up. Says the Heilige Mishnah. By the way, Kobe, our Hebrew editor, they just showed me. They said you have to see what he did. So on Daf Ayin Test in Hebrew, if you want to see, he did a very cool thing where he shows how we're driving like a animation, and we stopped here, stopped there. Anybody wants to check it out in the Hebrew Shir, Daf Ayin Test. Okay, in the beginning. Says the Eli Mishnah. If a person purchases a dovecot, meaning he purchases the offspring of the dovecot. Here's, let's say, a dovecot right here, and he wants to buy the birds. Now, he doesn't want to destroy the potential of this dovecot. He cannot take all the birds out of it, although us living in Bet Shemesh, we would love to see all of them go. But it was a business, it was a thing. He must leave the mother, the matriarch of the family. There's the great grandmother of everybody. You leave one, and she has offspring, a son and a daughter. You leave those. You have to leave so they can continue producing. Now, this is one of the scariest Rashbams in all of Shas. You know what? I'll read it together with you. If you have nightmares after this Rashi, this Rashbam, don't blame me. I'm giving you a warning. You turn off your whatever you're watching now. Close your ears. So he says, "V'derech hayonim Rabbi side no yeravoyim. Derech hayonim lasi shnei v'lodes b'chol chodesh." They could give birth to two a month. You hear what's going on here? These pigeons. If you have pigeons on your porch, this is one of the hardest Rashbams to read. 2 a month. Zachor and a Kever. It comes a male and a female. Chutz b'chodesh Adar. That's the month of Simcha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us a break. They don't get it. V'chol shnei v'adar is kurim b'richa. Okay. Zach, the Mishnah. Peres kaveres. If I'm buying a honeycomb, but what are you buying? You're not buying the honey. You're not buying the comb. You're buying the bees. So this might really. Here we go. Don't worry. He's not part of the shir.
A hive can only have one queen, so the colony must divide yet again.
So an echil, basically the way it works, you can put some value. It goes with value.
The newborn queen that leads it is a virgin and cannot guarantee the new colony's
so basically,
continued existence. The swarm seeks a temporary resting place.
I'll explain because we missed it. When the honeycomb, the beehive overflows, so the queen bee goes and relocates some of the bees, and they start all over again. That's called an echil. In English, it's called a swarm. And here a guy is coming, let's say, and they take the whole swarm, and that's it. You're allowed to do this 3 times, says the Mishnah. You take 3 swarms of misaris. What does sirus mean in the Torah? Sirus. You sterilize the zachros, you can't reproduce. So there's 2 shittas in the Gemara. Does it mean literally to sterilize the bees, or does it mean something else? Sometimes it can mean, sirus means to skip. One yes, one not. That's 2 pshatim in the Gemara. Chalis dvash. If you're talking about honeycombs, I'm selling you here chalis dvash. Oh, these are chalis dvash. That's how it looks. The modern chalis dvash. The farmers, will do it. These kind of guys. This is chalis dvash. I'm selling you chalis dvash. How much? Miniach shtei chalis. You have to leave over 2 so that the bees can continue on. Zeisim lakotz. I'm selling you, here, Zeisim lakotz. This is sad. You have olive trees. They just planted a gorgeous olive tree here in the corner on the circle. So if I sell you my olive trees for wood, so that, in Meir Sharim, in that store underneath, they could do some woodwork stuff. So how much of the tree do I have to leave? Miniach shtei grufiyos. You have to leave 2 branches so that it can continue growing later on. Ask the Gemara. Why is it still going? In our mission it says you have to only leave 1 pair of pigeons so that the dovecot continues. How come it says over here shnia? You have to leave 2. For the grandmother, the great grandmother, she has a husband, a mate, and you leave her the daughter. But for the daughter needs a daughter. The daughter needs a granddaughter. Let's see where it was. So basically, if we do here. So the mother lays, it should be really 2 eggs. I don't know why. This guy didn't fly in from somewhere else. I don't know where he got it from. Maybe I'm wrong. But there's a father and a mother on top, and they have a bricha rishayna. They have a pair. They also laid 4 more eggs. And here, these 4. So you could take those 4 pigeons all the way on the left. That's not a problem. But leave them 1. Let me just move that away. Now, the daughter, where it says bas, she lays 2 eggs. She also has a ben zug, a husband. So you have to leave her those 2. Ask the Gemara. The mother, all the way on top, she has company. She has her daughter to keep her company, plus her husband. Va'azuga, her mate. The shafkinala, that's enough. Ihinami, the daughter, why do you have to leave her with 2 offspring? Can't her daughter hang out with her mother? The mother is comfortable with her own daughter, so let the daughter be comfortable with her own mother. Anybody that has a teenager knows the answer. What's the answer? See, you don't love me, I don't love you, I love my friends. My friends are they love me much more than you do. Of course, then you have Urei vanim levanecha shalom Yisrael. Says the Olam, Urei vanim levanecha, when your son has a son, when your kid has a kid, then they realize what you went through. What? You used to get up at 3 a.m. for me, and at 3:35 in the morning, and then at 4, yes. I used to do that for you. Oh, the Yitaka love me more than my teenager friend who couldn't care less about me. Once I get married, we're never going to speak again. They don't chop that. Huh? You remember those teenage friends? We were the best. We were never going to... When was the last time you spoke to him? You want to come to my chasana? I can't really come to the chasana because I sprained my ankle. Yeah, sure. Okay. Best friends. Now I was thinking about Zugo, the Shafkin-in-law. Says Gemara, Ima brata mitztafta, a mother and a daughter. Of course, the mother loves the daughter, and that's enough for her to stick around in this dafkar and keep on producing. Brata Ima le mitztafta. But a daughter with her mother, that's not enough. You have to keep her. In order to keep a daughter there, you need to let her keep her offspring. The Rashbam says something very, very scary, that it takes about a month for these pigeons to start reproducing. These pigeons that produce once a month, it takes them 1 month to keep on going. So you think you get rid of them, they are there forever, they're there to stay. And in time we'll understand, we're going to need them. I was going to tell you over from Shimshon Pinkos, but we go back there. I said it by the Goin's thing, we could keep on going. Paris, Kever, when it comes to the fruit of a beehive, meaning the bees themselves, you take 3 swarms of bees, how do you sterilize a bee? You give him some mustard. We had the sugi basically here. You give them a shtickle here. You give bees mustard and they become sterile. Says, no, if you recall, these are bees eating chardal in real life. Okay, great. But the boys did this one for us, special for MDY. Yeah. When a bee eats mustard, the bee needs to have a little honey in order to sweeten up his mouth. Maybe, I'm just going out on a limb. Maybe that's where they got the famous recipe of mustard, honey mustard chicken or whatever it is. Honey mustard, it comes from here. Yeah. Says Rabbi Yochanan, it doesn't mean that we are sterilizing these bees. What it means is, let me see if I got the right one. Here we go. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. According to Rabbi Yochanan, I saw it here this morning. Here we go. Let me get rid of this pen for a second. Oh no. Okay. You guys see this? According to Leikeach, you get 1, 3, and 5 of the honeycombs. That's what your Masaris. You don't take all, you take 1, skip 3, 5. And the rest, huh? Yeah, okay. 246A goes to the seller. Now, here, there's a this is what it says in the Brisa. 1, 2, 3 goes to the buyer. And after you take 1, 2, 3, like over here, you take 4, 6, 8, which I don't know, it really means 4 in a row, according to Yoshi. Okay? Kasha. Maybe it means 5, 7, 9. I don't know. Huh? How did you guys learn? Because this doesn't look good. This says he gets 1, 2, 3, 4. So he didn't get the 3, he got 4. Okay, so we have a little tiny sugi here, gewaldige stuff of Tumah. What in the world is honey? Is honey considered a food? Not a food. If it's a food, it could be mikabel Tumah. It's susceptible to Tumah. If it's not a food, not. How do we view honey? Rav Kahana holds. So we have to remember, take this off. Rav Kahana holds that honey in a beehive is food, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. It's food. Right away, you can never get it out of being food. And it's always food, and therefore it's susceptible to Tumah. It's mikabel Tumah. You don't have to think, oh, I want this to be food. It's any yaita from food la'ilam. It's always food, whether you think about it or not. Maybe you have a question. It says mufurish that honey in a beehive is not a food and it's not a drink. It's not a liquid, and therefore what? It's not mikabel tumah. What food could you guys think of? What food could you think of that is similar? That it's like it's not a solid and it's not a liquid. It's not what? Jello, ketchup. Well, you don't really make a brach on ketchup usually. You don't go brach and take a spoon. Some shugayim, but those guys, they're not part of this year. There's another. I would say ice cream. Ice cream is problematic halachically. Is it a solid or is it a liquid? Let's say you drink a cup of wine. Could you eat ice cream without a bracha? Because usually wine patters liquids. So similar kind of question. Over here it says honey is nishtahin and nishtaher. It's not a liquid. It's not a solid. Nothing. So says Gemara. Omar Abaye leitzricha ela loitzen shtei chalos. Says Abaye, the brisa that says that it's not mikabel tumah. Remember, we learned before they have to leave over when you buy these honeycombs from somebody. You have to leave them 2. Why? Because 2 honeycombs is enough to continue on the doirus, the messiah of this beehive. So you need 2 honeycombs. 2 honeycombs. Who gets to use those 2 honeycombs? The bees, not humans. It's for the bees. It's to continue the bees. So it's not oichel. Oichel is something that we are going to enjoy. But since you have to always leave those 2 combs in there, the 2 honeycombs, so memela, it never has any shaykhs to human beings. Leave it alone. It's not food. That's one pshat. But it's to sustain the species, to let them regenerate. And we had this Rabbi says, you're going to see that this is easy because we know this already. It's not. Where do we have it? On Daf Samachay, not too long ago. Actually, comes out of the Cheshbon only like 15 days ago. It seems like it was forever. Sponsored Li'ilu Nishmas, the 6 kidnapped hostages that were murdered in cold blood, and by Sidron Film, who came with us on the trip and did a phenomenal job. For the little that I saw and the little they sent me, mamish, I'll tell you this, we wanted to do a scene where I was sitting in the front of the plane in regular class. It was called business class, but the seat was worse than any seat you sat on in your life. It was one of those 35-year-old planes, and they called it business class. I have no idea why. They didn't give you water, but it was business class. But I was in the front of the plane, so I got off one of the first. So he came on, pretending to chop me learning, but not really pretend, but just as this final scene of, because we went to so many places. We even did a scene in Paris, in the airport. So he got on, and I said the wrong pshat. I was like, the guy was next to me, and it was like uncomfortable, and people were laughing. So I just messed it up. I said, forget it. So he comes back. We said, let's do it in flight. Great, but then if it's in flight, he won't be able to send it to the Hebrew editor. So he pushes people, people come out, he had to get his way back to the front and redo. So anyway, Yishkoach Rabbi Yaakov. Weiter gegangen. Huh? You saw that part? Okay. Maybe Yosef, I don't know if you could do it. Is it in English also? I don't even know what it is.
All the different scenes, all the different locations.
Yeah, okay, I don't know what I think we did every scene in English also, but okay. No, that one was only one scene. So maybe Yosef, you could chop it just for the oilam. Grab it off the Hebrew. This nakaver is dvarim. Rebeleza oimer harei kikarka because what is a beehive? Is it metaltalin or is it karka? Is it a movable object or not? Rebeleza oimer harei kikarka. So if we stop right here, it's karka. Karka, Rabbi is not mekabel tuma. So because once again, the famous halacha that on Shemitah the Torah says, I want you to not being scared to give people loans. The problem is that you give somebody a loan, and he doesn't. Shemitah comes, it's erased. So I don't want to give loans, but the Torah says you have to give loans. Hillel came along and said, I'm making something called a prusbul. It's really a loan to Bezdin. Once it's Bezdin, so therefore, but on condition, there's one condition, that the borrower has to own property. So if I don't own any property, I don't have a dira, I pay rent my whole life, but I own one beehive, that's considered property. Because it's not, you can't be metamit. Why? When it's attached to the ground, because it's ground. I don't think we have to show it again, but you know what? It's still cool. Here, there's a rhythm of Shabbos. I'll just continue reading, and then you'll watch it if you want to see. So if you do one of these on Shabbos, you're chayav achatos. Why? Because when you take something off the ground on Shabbos, you cut a branch, you take off a leaf, you take off a fruit off a tree, you're chayav. It's this is the raisa. So since this is considered part of the ground, so by me taking a beehive off a tree, I am doing meleches koitzer. I am taking something off the ground, and I'm chayav misa if I do it b'mezid, chayav chatos if it's b'shogeg. Chacham say no, this is metalton. It's not karka, and therefore it's mekabel tuma even attached to the tree because it's considered a movable item. And if I cut it off the tree on Shabbos, it's not taking off a karka. Therefore, potter. My time to Rebbe. And what's the svar in Rebbe? Wow. I know that he worked very hard on this. Wow. Why didn't you give it to me before? What do you think? I'm going to put all this on? Well, at the end. At the end, like at 8:30. Okay? So Yaina's son, Shaul's son, he goes and he kills the Plishtim. He comes back, he's extremely hungry. But they made a shvuah that they're not going to eat anything that day. And he went and he stuck his staff into the honeycomb and he ate some of this shmaki nutrients. He ate the honey. And they said, okay, they made a whole thing. They figured out it was him, so they had to kill him. His father said, okay, you have to die. And then Klal Yisrael saved him. He didn't die. Why does it say in the pasuk, "Vayit v'loisa biyaris" in a forest of honey? What's a forest of honey? A forest, if you remove a fruit from it on Shabbos, you're chayav avdvash. You're right. Typically speaking, it's not considered a karka. But since the Torah goes out of its way to call it a forest, avdvash already men b'Shabbos chayav chatos meisvei. So that's Shittas Rebbe Lazar. That honey, honeycomb is a beehive is considered karka. Meisvei dvash azavin kevarto einoi loy oichel v'loy mashka. If you have here, you have some honey coming out of a beehive, drips out of a beehive, so that it's not food and it's not liquid. According to Abaya, it's okay. What does Abaya say? That we're talking about the two. Okay, I got it. Let's go out of here. So Abaya says that we're talking about the two what are they called? The honeycombs? So over here we're also talking about the two honeycombs. Therefore, the honey that comes out of the two honeycombs, oh, that's good. You come, Givaldi. Honey that comes out of the honeycombs is not food and it's not liquid. Why? Because we said since it's specifically for the bees, it's not food. Rava argues, according to Rava, once it's not attached to the tree anymore, then it should be what? It should be food. How come according to Rava it's not food? It dripped right into a disgusting kli, and therefore what? It's not food anymore. I don't even know if I should say what you said yesterday. No? Okay, I won't say it. But it was the first time that I ever heard the word, I see the word kaskasim means dandruff. And Benny spoke about people with dandruff, whatever. It was a moving speech actually. And I saw it here, mamish, like a few hours after he said it. So I thought it was also a kiss from Hashem. Kaskashim means that the honey dripped on a splinter of wood, which is unbelievable according to this. That according to the Gemara is saying that honey that drips on a disgusting kli, come. Oh, big ishmak, you come, you do it, Givaldi. Come. We got. I should also do this. I have to put on my mask. Okay, hold on. Whoa, he mamish worked hard on this. I don't want to rip this off or anything. What is this? I'm supposed to go this way? Like this? Oh, the other way. This way. I got it. Okay, schmack. This is going to be the clip of the Vilner trip. Oh, gloves. Where's my gloves? This is real stuff. Is this like some sort of surprise here? Avi's getting nervous. Hold on. This is very, very scary. Yishkoyach of Tomer. Unbelievable. Okay. I guess we could make this into a guy that has never been to the shir. Your son has never been. You think this is going to chase him away? He's going to bring him in. The Kims to shir the nine. Ja the nine. Darf zugen nitzte. Du bist du? Oh, here, like this. This is a good thumbnail. Okay, gewaldig. For the thumbnail, it's good. We go weiter. Ishkoyach Tomer. Had nothing to do with it. Zero. This is all Tomer on his own initiative. Thank you. I bet there's a lot of work that went into that. Wow. It's 8:07. I guess we don't. We'll have a little bit chayv. What are you gonna do? Okay. So it's interesting. I don't know how he's allowed to do this. I didn't really speak to anybody about this or look into this, but if I understand this correctly, he's basically changing the girsa to fit what he's saying, and that's like not fair. Oh, that's what happened. Meisvei. 1 minute. It's right. We're kashkashim. But I didn't finish the nekuda. Kaskasim. I'll tell you what he said. I have to tell you what he said because he said that certain people, if you went to yeshiva, you know what I'm talking about. He has trauma when he sees a guy with a long frock and a hat with dandruff on his shoulder. That gives him trauma, and I completely relate to that. You remember that it's always the guy with the dad. Why do you have dandruff? It's scary. The guys that are clean and with this, they don't give trauma. The kaskasim guys. Meisvei, but the Chassidim also used to have it. Little dandruff do? The Shiva? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, he chaps what I'm saying. I thought it was just a Litvish thing. Okay. No, but they go to the mikveh. How do they don't have kaskasim? Yeah, okay, fine. We'll talk about the kaskasim later. It's other people's kaskasim. Huh? No, but when you come out of the mikveh, you get other people's kaskasim, and that falls down on it. It says Mefurish that dvash b'kevartoi. Now you chap why it's here. This kaveris we just did it. Dvash b'kevartoi. It says that the honey is not considered food and not considered if he thought about it for food. You see, it says over Mefurish he thought about it for food. Then it does give you tumas oichlin. Lemashkin, if he thought about it for that it should be liquid, tumas mashkin. So Abai says I have 2 combs that are not food. So they're not food. Why they're not food? Because they belong specifically for the bees. So if I thought in my head I don't want it for bees anymore, so it's not a bee comb, it's more a human comb, and Mela it is Mikabel Tuma. Great. Elo Rava Kasha, but what's Rava gonna do with this thing? Oh Malach Rava. So Rava has to say, if you thought about achila, that's what I'm saying. It's not fair because it seems like he's just changing what it says here. Lemashkin, and if he thought about it for liquid, let's just do until the 2 dots. Tanya Kever say the Rav Kahana that food, that honey is considered food. Honey is considered food. You don't have to think about it. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. A good Shabbos. Motzei Shabbos, Beis Hashem, 9:30. Shkoya.